Hey, Melissa here from GirlGoneFishing, and I just got here at Cowan Lake State Park Campground, which is my home base for the next 3 nights while I fish the Buckeye Kayak Fishing Trail Cincinnati Lakes tournament. So this tournament has a kind of cool format. We have to fish Cowan Lake one day and Acton Lake, which is up in Houston Woods State Park by Oxford, Ohio, the other day. And they don't care what you do on Saturday and what you do on Sunday, and then the total for the tournament is your best five fish from both days. So we decided as a group that we would do our home base here at Cowan, so a bunch of the people from the Buckeye Trail are going to be camping here, but I got here a little early and I'm getting ready to set up. I think everyone else is out on the lake pre-fishing, and I'll never get here early enough to pre-fish on a Friday. It takes me way too long to get packed and get out the door, but it's only around 3 o'clock right now, so I'm going to set up my tent and maybe get a fire going and start making some hot dogs for dinner while I wait for Kevin and all the other guys to get back from the ramp. So do you want to tour the campsite before I set up? So here's home. We are in site 212. It's a pretty nice campground. We've got almost the whole little loop here. Uh-oh. Gonna have to burn my tent down now. Alright, I just got launched on Acton Lake and it's about 1 minute till line's in. I'm a little behind schedule, so I'm going to get going. Fingers crossed, it's a good day. This is a crowded lake today. Almost the entire field chose to fish Acton because you get to pick Acton Lake one day and Cowan Lake one day, and almost everyone is here. It's probably about 45 kayaks on this lake plus regular boats. So it's gonna be interesting, but we'll see what we can do. I got fish number 1, 13.5 inches. I'm on the board. Well, I promised myself I wasn't going to waste this whole tournament throwing crankbaits like I always do. So I started off with a lipless crankbait, which I don't count as a crankbait because I don't like throwing it. And I threw that around for a while, and I tried a buzz bait, and I tried a Ned rig, and I tried a finesse jig, a bitsy bug. Couldn't get anything on any of those things. So I tied on a Strike King square bill 1.5 and got a fish right away, like the second cast, and then got a little 11-inch fish. So I'm sorry, the universe is telling me crankbait bites on. So where I caught those 2 fish is up a creek off the main lake, and there's one little section of bank that has kind of chunk rock on it. That's where those fish were. So I threw the crankbait around a little bit more and didn't get anything. So I'm gonna follow up in that area with a Ned rig. So this is a finesse TRD from Z-Man, and on a little Z-Man Ned head. I'm getting little nibblers. It must be like really small bass or maybe like bluegill or crappie. Keep going, tap, 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 tap. Okay, time to keep exploring. I think I wore that little section of creek out, so gonna see what else I can find, and I'm gonna definitely hit that section of creek again before the tournament's over. fish number 2. This one is really cool. I'm pretty proud of this. So I had been throwing a square bill crankbait and I decided to follow up again with that Ned rig, threw it under the shadow of a big tree and let it sit, and look, I can't believe it worked. I love that I'm fishing a little smarter. So one of the really cool things about the Hobie Lynx is that it can get into some seriously shallow places. Like, there's hardly any part of the kayak that's underwater. So I pulled my pedal drive out and I'm using my paddle, and then I flipped the rudder up because it was dragging. I mean, you can let it drag, but I didn't like the noise, and it tends to like dig into the sand and kind of stop you. So I flipped the rudder up and I pulled the pedal drive, and now I'm just paddling a very, very flat kayak. So I am going up this creek here, and I see up ahead of me there's some like kind of big still backwater pools up there, and I want to go check that out. So I've turned my cool pedal drive Lynx into a shallow water paddle boat that's going to get me back where I don't think a lot of people go. So, the ability on a busy lake like this to find some water that probably doesn't get a lot of pressure, that's really great. And I'm going to be really disappointed if I don't get a fish back here. Oh, there's a really big beaver right there. Whew, that's a big beaver. All right, so I'm going to start by throwing this finesse TRD around back here in any kind of like wood or deeper looking spot I can find. Gosh, I can't believe there was a fish back here. All right, fish number 3, 13 1/4. Look at that little belly. Woohoo, 3 fish. Well, that gives me 39 3/4 inches for 3 bass, puts me an 1/8 out of 55. But we have a long way to go. Let's get more fish. This is really cool. So I got my fish finder for free from one of the guys that I fish with because the map chip doesn't work, so you can't do like waypoints and stuff, but the fish finder part works great. So I really appreciate that because I can learn how to use a fish finder. However, I want to be able to do waypoints, and so I've always used the Navionics app on my phone. It's the same thing as what goes on in the fish finder, but in a smaller phone format. So after I catch a fish, I like to mark on Navionics where I caught the fish, and then I make a little note about what I did to catch that fish. And then the Navionics automatically dates and times it. So, like next time you come, you can kind of scan and see how you did. So I caught that little fish and I made a little fish mark. So the next time I come, I know that there was a fish back here, and now I'm gonna go find more fish. I have caught so many fish that are 11 1/2 or 11 3/4. So here's another one, 11 3/4. Next year, this little creek is gonna be on fire. I'm kind of getting antsy with all of this finesse Ned rig fishing, but if I just stick with it and grind out 2 more fish, no matter how little they are, I will have my limit, and then I can go out and try like more fun stuff on the main lake and see if I can upgrade. But it was supposed to be super windy today, like up to 20 miles per hour, and I'm totally sheltered back here. So I might want to stay back here and just figure out where the big fish are. I mean, this can't be like little fish only. I used to really believe that thing about how a Ned rig's only gonna get small fish, but over the winter, I teach skiing in the winter, so I usually don't get to fish, but if it's too warm and rainy, my ski area will like suspend operations for a while. So on a weekend when we suspended operations, my buddy Scott and I took his boat down to Cedar Creek Lake in Kentucky, which is an amazing lake, and I threw a Ned rig around and I caught some really big bass on it. So that has made me a believer. That one day of fishing has done more for my confidence in a Ned rig than all of last season when I tried to like embrace it and kind of failed miserably. So that proof that I got those really nice bass on the Ned rig, I have faith. I have faith that if I can get it in front of the right fish, he's gonna bite. Even though a lot of these fish are small, like I've been getting a ton of hits, ton of like bites on like little fish, ton of little da-da-da-da from like something bluegill, and I got that big crappie. I mean, this is fun. I know they're not tournament approved fish, you know, and I know I don't have my limit yet, but man, it's been a long time since I've had like this many bites in a day. This is great. Plus, what a gorgeous day and a gorgeous lake. Ah, I feel so lucky on days like this. It came off right at the net. Oh boy. Oh, he's a keeper. Holy cow. Okay, I gotta get out of this mess here. Oh, the rods. All right, this is fish number 4, another 13 1/4, but he's a keeper. Or she, maybe, with that belly. Look at that belly. All right, fish number 4. I feel like since I've been so patient and fishing so smart, fishing this Ned rig, which is not my favorite way to fish, maybe the universe can reward me by tomorrow at Cowan Lake when we fish the second day of the tournament. Maybe the crankbait bite will be on and I can catch crankbait fish all day. So here's what I'm putting on my Ned head. It's the Z-Man Finesse TRD, and that's what it looks like. I don't have enough of these for tomorrow if I keep losing them, so had to get it back, and had to be a thorn bush, didn't it? So it's been about an hour and a half since my last bite, and that means I need to make some sort of change. I either need to change what I'm throwing or change where I'm throwing. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the good spots on my way out. The creek system kind of did a loop. So I'm gonna retrace my steps on that loop, hitting the spots, but a lot faster than I did on the way in. And then when I get out to the main lake, hit the spot that the only other time I've been here I caught fish out on the main lake if the wind's not too bad. So we'll see how that goes. But I gotta make some kind of change because can't go that long without a fish.
I like your bow.
Oh, thank you. Look, we match.
But your feet are heavy.
No, I move it with my feet.
That's really cool.
All right, I'm switching colors and I'm gonna try the deal, which is more of a natural shad with a little bit of like a darker back and the white belly, but with some blue in it. So my theory is that with the sun fully up, maybe there's more light penetration in the water, and maybe I need to go to something a little more natural looking. Although I've caught stuff on the green pumpkin goby in really clear water too. So, but had to make a change, so gonna try a little the deal and see if that does anything. This fish is fish number 5, 12 3/4, but he counts. I got my limit. Oh my gosh, you guys. Look at this fish. 16-inch beautiful smallmouth. Look at them. I had no idea there were smallmouth in here. All right, thank you. Well, that's fun. Little wind to make things interesting. Okay, well that wraps up my day on Acton Lake of day 1 of 2 for the Buckeye Kayak Fishing Trail Cincinnati Lakes tournament. Tomorrow I have to fish Cowan Lake, so this will be my last here, but I caught fish today. It's really cool. I ended up 7th place out of 55 people, and that puts me in a really good position to maybe do something on Cowan tomorrow. So I just had so much fun today. I had fun exploring, and I caught a ton of fish. Who knew there were that many 11.5 or 11.75 inch fish in this lake? I think I found them all. So I had a great day. I want to say thanks to Strictly Sail and Kayak for the Hobie Lynx. I got back in a creek that I don't think a lot of people can get into because the Lynx is so shallow and it just handles really well with a paddle or pedals. So thanks guys, thanks for Strictly Sail and Kayak. I really appreciate the Lynx and your guys' support. And thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and look out for tomorrow's video where I might have catch more fish.